Hey, thank you so much for watching, listening today. Of course, I want to invite you to subscribe because we have amazing content. And today, I have a very cool interview for you with Cheri Gregory. I'm like thinking in my mind, say this right, because I had another friend, we were talking about that. But help us know, like a little background, who you are, where you're from, and because not everybody in our audience is familiar with you.
Sure. So thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with Amy.
Yeah.
And so I am a teacher at heart. I started teaching when I was 5 years old, and I went to my first piano lesson. I came home, grabbed a little girl from across the street, plopped her on the piano bench next to me, taught her everything I'd learned, sent her home with practice, and she did it. So I've been teaching ever since then. Taught junior high for 15 years, and then I got old and crabby, so I had to move up to high school. I've taught college English as well, and I'm married to my college sweetheart. We've been, I think this year is 33, but it could be 34 years. I've lost, like last year, kind of expanded and contracted, so I don't know exactly. And then we have two young adult children, and I just quit teaching, and I'm focusing on the writing and speaking.
When you say you just quit teaching, what does that mean?
Well, I've been teaching part-time or full-time pretty much since graduating from college. And so I did give notice at the end of last school year. That's my last year for doing AP English Lit and Comp.
For high school?
Yes.
How cool is that?
It was a lot of fun. I'm going to miss the kids terribly.
Yeah. Well, why'd you do that?
I felt like it was, for the AP English class, they had changed the curriculum. And for me to get up to speed with it, I would have needed to put quite a bit of time. And then I also evaluated the literature I'd been teaching for the last 10 years. And I thought, I need more diversity in that. And in order for me to do that, I needed to do more than just get a few recommendations and sub in. I needed to learn how to teach those new works well, and that would take me weeks and months. So I felt like I couldn't rebuild the plane while you're flying it.
Yes.
I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah.
I needed to land the plane. So I'm taking at least a year off, but it may be longer. But if I go back, there's these things I will need to do first before I'll feel like I'm giving the kids what they really deserve.
So how do you feel about concluding like I think, so you've been doing that no less than 30 years.
Yeah.
So what does that feel like to you?
That's a great question. There's a part of me that's like, woohoo!
Yeah, no more grading, yada, yada.
I won't miss. Is it okay for me to say I won't miss the parents?
No. That's exactly right. Right. The kids are great. Parents are a little.
And I know they love their kids. That's never the question.
Yeah.
But I will miss the students terribly because, every year was different. Like I'll never forget, for example, the year I was teaching Hamlet, and there was a couple kids in the class who were like, ooh, Hamlet's a wuss. He's not manning up. And there were two kids in that class who had both lost a parent. And they shut that discussion down so fast. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. We know what grief over the loss of a parent is like. And that year was like just this incredibly special year where they taught me how to interpret this work that I thought I knew all about. Like, I'm the teacher, right?
Yeah.
But they taught me so much. And, that class had an experience that no class before or after would ever have. And so that was always what teaching was like for me. So I'm going to miss the kids as individuals because they're amazing. And I'm going to miss the experience, the co-creation of learning, and the co-creation of meaning that we did together. So I'm going to desperately miss that part. But I've gotten old and crabby again. And, I had a kid put a whoopee cushion on my chair a few years ago, and I sat on it. And I sighed, and I went and pulled it out, and I cut it in pieces, and I threw it in the trash. And he looked so deflated. And I thought later, I could have finessed that. Like, we could have had a good look with. And I wasn't threatened by it. I wasn't upset by it. I was just tired. It was like he interrupted my day. Like, oh, no. No kid deserves a teacher who feels like they're an interruption of her day. So there's a part of me that just knows it's time for them to have somebody who's maybe younger, but definitely more energetic, more able to be fully present for them, and more flexible. I think I've gotten a little less flexible.
Interesting. So it's a kind of a season change in your life.
I think so. Yeah.
that little bit of grieving for the past or no?
Yeah, there's definitely grieving because I spent so many years. I mean, one of the things Amy and I have in common is this perfectionism thread. I mean, I say it was mixed into my formula when I was a baby, and I'm a lifer when it comes to perfectionism. And every year, this was going to be the year I got it right. This was going to be the year I could lesson plan, I could teach, I could do the discipline, stay on top of the emails and calls from the parents, and stay on top of my grading. Like this was going to be the year I got it all. And I'm finally 30 years in, I'm like, I've never gotten it all. I've never managed it all. I'm always in crisis mode at one of those areas or another. What if I just call it? What if I just say, I've gotten as good as I can? It's not that I'm bad. It's not that I need to be the best, but I'm now doing writing coaching and speaking coaching, and that's one-on-one or small group.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm almost afraid to say this. It's easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for the longest time, I have a good friend who's like, Cheri, you only think it counts if it's hard. And I'm like, yeah, that would describe most of my life. The harder you try, the more pain it causes, the more godly it must be, the more worthwhile. And I'm like, but this just kind of happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel energized afterwards. And the key is I have more energy for my kids and my husband.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas teaching, at the end of the day, there was nothing left.
Yeah.
That's the one regret. It's not recrimination, but it's a regret that the kids, our own kids, because my husband's also a teaching pastor, and they got the leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
They got tired mom and dad every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that makes sense. So the new season you're looking into, what is that looking forward? What does that look like for you?
Well, I'm also a graduate student, and so I have a dissertation to finish. I've done my research, I've taken my classes, and I need to finally code the data and get all of that finished up. So I'm looking forward to getting that thing done. And then, I was telling Amy, I've actually I've just shifted where I'm teaching. I got several group coaching programs that I'm doing, and just finished one up. And every day I taught a different class, and I was like, I actually still have school. I still teach. It's my school. It's kind of, I'm getting used to it, and a little bit of an entrepreneurial angle to it. And like I said, I miss the kids because they're so fresh and so honest.
Yeah.
So honest.
Yep.
But there is something really cool about working with adults who show up and, in this case, if I'm doing writing coaching, God has given them a message, and so many of them are so nervous. They're like, I had an English teacher who marked up my paper and read, I can't write, I'm not a writer. And it's like, and they think they're not a writer because they can't spell.
Right.
I'm like, oh, no, we have proofreaders for that. You've got a message.
Yeah.
It's getting it on in pixels or on paper.
Yep.
That's writing, whatever it takes.
Mm-hmm. What's your dissertation on?
It's on the leadership journeys of influential Christian women bloggers.
Huh.
And because when blogging started, I think we're now kind of really going on 15 years ago, it allowed Christian women to become influencers and leaders. I'm going to argue servant leaders without gatekeepers.
Mm-hmm.
There was nobody telling them that they could or couldn't lead. And their audiences, and I'm thinking of someone like Ann Voskamp, for example, their readers bestowed leadership on them by showing up. Yeah, by reading and then by buying the books that they wrote. So having a lot of fun with that.
That'll be really cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you to do that. Are you going to publish it? I mean, it gets published.
Well, I'm going to be doing two things at once. I have the academic portion, but then I'm also going to be writing a book about servant leadership at the same time.
Nice. And what do you do to relax and exhale?
I work, but that's not the right answer, but it's the true answer. I was listening to Amy's answer. I do love to travel, but really for fun, I like to eat what my son experiments with in the kitchen. He's we call him the mathematician in the kitchen. And he loves to experiment with baking specialty goods. So I'm always saying, son, I am here to support your endeavors in whatever way I can. And I sit at the kitchen table and I eat what he does. And it's very fun.
What's the favorite thing he's cooked for you?
Baklava.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
He has perfected baklava.
Is it pistachios in baklava, or is it almonds?
Well, it's a great question.
Yeah.
We have perfected a mixture of almonds, walnuts, and pistachios.
Ooh.
It's to die for.
Ooh, very nice. So you gonna sell that?
No, we gift it.
Yeah.
We gift it. It's a labor of love.
Uh-huh.
There's no amount of money that would pay for it.
Right. It is very much labor of
Yeah.
love. So is that your favorite cuisine is Greek or no?
Anything Mediterranean. I grew up Christmas and Easter and family Thanksgiving. We had, falafel and hummus and tzatziki and tabbouleh. We didn't have the traditional American fare. So to me,
Nice.
we had it last night. We ordered it to the hotel.
Very nice. Do you ever try avgalimino?
I have no idea what that is.
This is Greek lemon chicken rice soup.
I will have to try it just because I want to be able to say that I've had it.
Yeah.
I would like to use that word in casual conversation.
Why not? That'd be kind of fun, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for
course.
watching. Thank you for subscribing. Hit the notification bell right there. And let me know, what is your favorite cuisine? It can be, and you could pick and choose. You could choose ethnicities like Indian food or whatever. Or you could tell me as well, do you prefer breakfast, lunch, or dinner? What's your favorite meal? So thank you again for watching. Thank you for subscribing, doing the notification bell. And we have this fantastic joke at the end that is so magnificent. I say tongue in cheek. So my therapist told me to write letters to everyone who has hurt me and then burn them. So I've done that. Now what do I do with the letters? That's so rude. Oh my God, we can't do that. That's not right. Anyways, next week will be a lot better. Thanks again.